ARMY around the world is left stunned and in disbelief after the shocking news about Jungkook deciding to leave HYBE spreads like wildfire. The world seems to stop spinning for these loyal BTS fans. Speculation was springing up endlessly, leaving a trail of anxiety and a big question mark. What was the reason behind the drastic decision of the Golden Magne? In an atmosphere of confusion and grief, Taehyung, the member who is known to be especially close to Jungkook, finally spoke up. With a serious but cautious face, V gave the first clue that could slightly ease the turmoil that occurred. He divulged that Jungkook's decision was not out of conflict or ill will, but something much more personal and profound. This is a very personal thing for him, Taehyung said in a soft but authoritative voice. He needs time and space to find something different for himself. The sentence is like a double-edged knife, a little soothing but at the same time opening up space for greater emotional shock. What exactly is meant by finding something different? As it turns out, the real reason that Taehyung leaked this is much more moving than the ARMY could have imagined. Jungkook, who has spent almost his entire life under a structured industrial system, felt the need to take a deep breath. He wants to explore his own world as Jungkook, not just as BTS's Jungkook, without the restrictions and schedules that have ruled his life for more than a decade. It's a journey of self-discovery and creative freedom that he feels must be done now or never. Although ARMY's heart was torn apart, Taehyung's sincere confession finally led to an understanding. Behind the decision that felt like an earthquake, there was a story about a young man's simple desire to feel free and grow personally, a reason that left those who loved him with nothing but their best support and prayers. The rumors that were initially confusing have finally found their light. After Taehyung's first explanation, which still leaves many questions, he then gives a clearer context, while still maintaining Jungkook's privacy. As it turns out, Jungkook's desire to find something different was not an impulsive decision made overnight. This was the result of a long contemplation that he carried out even before his conscription period began. Taehyung revealed that during his later years, Jungkook often felt trapped in a monotonous routine. Although he loved music and his ARMY more than anything else, the creative process of having to constantly follow tight schedules, chart targets, and commercial commitments began to weigh on his free spirit. He longed for the moment to be able to record a song just because he wanted to sing it that day, not because it was part of the project timeline. He wants to learn a new instrument, explore a genre of music that doesn't even necessarily sell well on the market, and maybe just distribute it on Weverse as a small gift to ARMY, without the pressure of breaking records. Jungkook is like an eagle, Taehyung's analogy wisely. He needs the wind and the vast sky to fly. We all understand that. Taehyung's words touch the deepest corner of ARMY's heart. It's not about getting out of BTS, but about finding new ways to remain the Jungkook they love, in a way that is healthier and more sustainable for him mentally and artistically. The biggest emotional shock comes when Taehyung leaks that HYBE, despite her desire to keep Jungkook, finally understands and respects his request. They parted on good terms, with ties still tight, and left the possibilities for future collaboration wide open. Jungkook did not come out, but preferred not to renew his exclusive contract and chose an independent path for the time being. Despite the initial tears, Taehyung's honest and loving explanation caused an overwhelming sense of pride among the ARMY. They see an idol they have supported since childhood has grown into a man who dares to make difficult choices for his own happiness and mental health. Instead of crying from sadness, ARMY is now crying from haru, ready to welcome the new Jungkook, who will return to them with fresher energy and music born of pure freedom. And in the silence that followed that explanation, the ARMY began to reassemble the fragments of their hearts. The new understanding does not immediately erase the sense of loss, but gives it meaning. They were reminded of all the times Jungkook was seen immersed in his own thoughts, or when he spoke in a low-key tone about wanting to live like an ordinary person my age. These are not complaints, but subtle hints that have now been answered. Taehyung, with his rare public wisdom, not only becomes a friend to Jungkook, but also a bridge to the ARMY of millions. Through his words, he invites them all to look beyond the idol persona and witness the ordinary man behind a tired Jungkook, who thirsts for freedom, and who is brave enough to say no for his own sake. It's a lesson about letting go lovingly, about loving someone enough to allow him to go find his own happiness, even if it means we have to let go of his constant presence for a while. The world may still be spinning with speculative news, but in the heart of ARMY fandom, the storm has died down. They have gone from shock to acceptance, from sadness to warm anticipation. They know it's not the end. It's just an interlude, a pause in the music before the more majestic chorus booms again. And when that time comes, ARMY will be there, with ARMY Bomb's lights brightly lit, welcoming back Jungkook not as a tired idol, but as an artist who has rediscovered himself and his creative fire. While possible, still inserting tissue for the tears that sometimes still fall, but now those tears are sweeter, wrapped in the belief that everything Jungkook did was for a better ending.